What's going on, y'all? It's JD Piquel. Today on the hard count is Oklahoma State, the Big 12's best chance at making the college football playoff. Welcome into CFP with JD, the People's channel for everything college football on YouTube. Subscribe. We do a video just about every single day. I sit in the chair and talking to this mic like an idiot. Y'all drive the show. Jack McKenzie, Armstrong Sims make the whole deal happen. So the college football playoff rankings were released on Tuesday. You had to go all the way down to number 9 to find a true Big 12 team. Cincinnati was sitting there at number 5 spot, looking pretty going to be in the Big 12 in not too long. But it begs the question, is the Big 12 going to be left out of the college football playoff this year? Because 4 spots, 5 Power 5 conferences, Cincinnati flirting around with making the college football playoff in that number 5 spot. Some Power 5 conference is going to get left out. Maybe more than one, but right now, looks like it could be the Big 12. Again, you have to go to number 9. Oklahoma State is the highest-ranked Big 12 team. And so this kind of got me thinking, okay, well, if there were to be a team that makes the college football playoff from the Big 12, who is it and what essentially has to happen? Well, let's just go down the list because there's really 3 lead horses to win the conference right now, and that should go without saying. You have to be a conference champion to make the college football playoff, especially in the Big 12. The SEC, not so much. Another video for another time. Oklahoma State has 1 loss. Oklahoma has 1 loss. Baylor, who some people think is kind of a hot take to make the Big 12 title game, they have 2 losses. So let me just start there. Baylor's ranked number 11. They have 2 losses. They're not making the college football playoff, but they could spoil it for one of these teams down the line. They already put a loss on Oklahoma. They could play Oklahoma State in the title game, but Baylor's not going to make it. Then you have Oklahoma, with, we just mentioned a second ago, have that 1 loss in Waco to Baylor. The benefit for Oklahoma is they lost to what was, like, at the time, a top 15 team. So in terms of losses, if you want to boast about a good loss, which I don't really know if there is a good loss, but in the college football playoff rankings world that we live in, that is more or less a good loss. Now, the great thing for Oklahoma is they still have Iowa State at home, and then they go to Bedlam. They go to Stillwater to play the Bedlam game against Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State, I anticipate, will still be a top 10 team at that point. Let's just say Oklahoma wins that game. And then they go to the Big 12 title game, and then they play, let's say they play Oklahoma State again. I would venture to say those are a top 10 and potentially another top 15 win. So 2 big ranked wins. Get even crazier, 2 top 10 wins to finish the season. A lot of things need to happen. A lot of things need to fall their way. But I don't think it's impossible. And then you have Oklahoma State sitting there with 1 loss. Their 1 loss being to Iowa State. Not as good a loss, quote unquote, as Oklahoma has in Waco, but still 1 loss happened early enough in the year to where I think they can recover from it. They're going to get to play Oklahoma at home, like we mentioned. That's going to be for the conference. I think Oklahoma State meets Baylor in the conference title game, but all things considered, for the college football playoffs purposes, this is the play-in game for Oklahoma State and Oklahoma. Now, in that game itself, Oklahoma State matches up really well with Oklahoma. You just look down this roster. Caleb Williams is an all-star. They have ballers at receiver for Oklahoma, but the defense is not as physical as what Oklahoma State's going to bring with Jaylen Warren. Spencer Sanders, if he plays mistake-free football like he has recently, they're going to be in really good position. Even more so, the defense of Oklahoma State is going to get after Caleb Williams. We saw Caleb Williams against an elite defense this past weekend in Waco, and for the first time saw him really struggle. Like, really struggle. Like, not just Kansas struggle, but really struggle. Oklahoma State, if you thought Baylor was hard, Oklahoma State's bringing the all-Madden level of difficulty for Caleb Williams. And so Caleb Williams is going to be the face of the sport. He's going to be all that in a bag of chips in the future. I would be surprised if he doesn't have a Heisman Trophy by the time he leaves Oklahoma. But he's going to have to deal with this Oklahoma State defense in Stillwater. It's a very tall task. So what am I getting at here? Oklahoma State is your best chance to play for the college football playoff if you're the Big 12. Now, some things likely have to break your way a little bit. Bottom line, you're rooting for as many 2-loss conference champions as possible. Now, I personally think it's going to break that way. I think Oregon gets a loss. I think, or a second loss, I should say. So they probably lose to Utah at least once. And then I'd be surprised if we don't see a team like Alabama end up with a second loss. Like, there's a lot of things that could happen. Bottom line, a 1-loss Big 12 champion, especially if it's Oklahoma State, I think you have a really, really good chance to find your place into the college football playoff. That's it for us here at The Hard Count, a video nearly every single day, so I would encourage you to subscribe. It's the People's channel, so tell us what you want to see, and we'll keep that party rolling. as the party rolls on, we will see y'all next time.